What's an engoodening? Engoodener? Engoodenan? Engoodening.
Sponsored by that game everyone loves.
Hey!
Scientists are racing to unlock the secrets of the cosmos. Questions we once thought impossible to answer are within our grasp. Where does the sun go at night?
Wait, don't we know that?
Math related to science?
Wait, don't we know that too?
If the universe is so big, then why won't it fight me?
It is, all the time.
Further into the universe,
That's what entropy
We
is.
see light from distant stars, eons old, perhaps hundreds, even thousands of miles away. Hold on, can I get a zoom in on that?
What?
You bet I can. This is one of the world's most powerful telescopes.
Why is he talking like
Initiating
that?
6 times zoom.
Can this baby do 7?
I can
What?
do you one better.
He looks familiar.
To 8 times zoom.
I've seen him on Neil I've seen him on Neil deGrasse Tyson's show Star Talk before.
Unblur.
It won't hold.
Get me 8.5 times.
You're a madman.
What?
Upscale it to 4K.
The helium
What is
tanks
happening?
will go critical.
Opening the blinds.
Wait, why would that help?
Uncropping and increasing aspect
What?
ratio. Now, punch it.
Are those things fighting each other?
There it is. Life on another world. And to think, we owe it all to one indie development studio.
This doesn't look right.
Games.
Okay. So it's like another Bethesda, but they messed up
Let's start at the beginning.
from the beginning. In more extreme ways?
Yeah, it's rewind time. Okay, the year is 2009. Guildford,
Okay.
England. There's
Okay.
a man named Sean Murray, and he's just founded a company called Hello Games.
Sean and the boys are working hard on a brand new IP called Joe Danger. 2010 AD. The game just came out. It's a success.
They're a small
Okay.
team, but they are ambitious.
Was it just 4
Let's
people?
do something bigger, said Sean. Let's
Because that's kind of amazing.
reach for the stars.
Hey, space joke,
How
haha.
about Joe Danger 2? Brilliant. It's 2012. Joe Danger 2 has just come out.
But,
The easiest
that one
play in the
didn't pull off.
playbook. Make a good
We
game,
need
just
to do
make a
something
sequel.
even bigger than Joe Danger 2.
People do that with movies
Joe
too.
Danger 3? No. Even more out of this world. Something no man has done before.
Oh, it's coming.
Joe Danger the mobile game?
It's a
Yes!
Oh.
And that came out in 2014. Seriously, guys, biggest thing you can think of.
disappointing.
I'm just a stock image, dude. Why don't you
Come
figure something?
on.
Sean pondered
Is this
for a
going to be
moment,
game number 4?
then turned and looked wistfully into the mirror. Reflected back was
Is
the
it-
visage
is
of
it
Neil
game
deGrasse Tyson.
Number
If
4.
you're gonna make
Neil
a
deGrasse
space game,
Tyson.
first person, have never been
Hey,
done before.
I love him.
I'm going up in orbit to repair the Hubble telescope.
That's not a knife. Who are you gonna have sex with? How much microwave is coursing through your body now?
The planet,
Oh my god.
said Murray. Space game. Procedural
It's Black
generation
Science Man, guys.
Planet. Okay, that sounds good. Yes.
People don't
We
think
all
the
agree.
universe be
So they
how
set
it
to
is,
work,
but it be.
cobbled together
But
a
it do.
prototype, and
God
by
damn it. Oh, I
PGX
butchered it.
2013,
Forget that. I didn't
they
say
are ready
anything.
to
I didn't say
announce
anything.
another new IP.
No Man's Sky. Check it out. Check it out.
Oh. Everything's procedural. Okay. You know, that does sound like chaos, though. I would imagine that something that's procedurally generated is like more likely to break than just creating a world that's static, you know?
It's 2014, and it's E3 hype time. No Man's Sky has promised to be a game like no other. A practically boundless experience vibrant with life and color and things to explore. What's over there? You'll have to be the one to discover it. And then, wow, look at that big f***ing dinosaur, holy shit. And a moment later, we're in space having a battle amongst a giant fleet. Claim a planet as your own. Explore the galaxy with your friends.
Okay, that's it. This is going to be
I
the
mean,
best game ever, you guys.
Right? That's what it
even
sounds
won
like.
awards for its hype. And it will
Whoa,
release
wait.
in June
You can win awards
2016.
before the game's out just because it's so good at hyping you up? I didn't know that.
The hype train was officially loading up and ready to chug out of the station. At every stop of the journey, there would be press junkets talking about the amazing scale of the game. Spread across 18 quintillion planets. It's so
Whoa.
vast that by the time you finish exploring it all, I would have 2 new videos published. Sean himself was doing the interviews. Because who is better to talk about the game?
I was waiting for him to say something like, it'll take you 30 years. And he was like,
went from
it'll
interview
take
to
me like
interview, and
2
with each
months to
question,
finish the game.
The answers he gave raised people's expectations of the game's scope.
Can you land on a comet?
Yeah, at the moment you can land on asteroids.
You could encounter other players.
Why did he say at the
Brief other
moment?
players.
That's like,
A little bit.
They're literally
that's
building
a
your
weird
own,
statement.
massively multiplayer
like for
world
now we
that's
can, but I mean by the time the game
Sand
releases, we
planets
can't
like
make
in
any
Dune,
promises.
Rivers, walking sentinels, hacking. So sophisticated that light diffracts through the atoms, they had to redevelop the whole periodic table to make it work.
What?
Even Elon Musk was hyped for it.
I mean, everyone loves space, right?
It's early 2016, and that hype train is really moving now. Perhaps one of the biggest in video game history. Reddit was shoveling most of the gamer fuel. Skeptics and naysayers are treated as ballast and thrown from the carriage doors. Pre-orders open, and they are doing very well. The date is booked in. Some are even taking the day off work. So
Whoa.
much hype there is that... Uh-oh. Jason Schreier of the soon-to-be defunct Kotaku is about to spoil the party. He announces a delay. From June 2016 to August.
He looks like the
Liar. the
Doesn't he kind of look like a
insensate
villain?
prize.
When I first saw his
Please
face, I
be
was like,
quiet,
that
they
looks
said.
like bad
And
news.
death threats too. But he was 100% right. A week later, the delay is officially announced. Ooh, sorry lads, we need more polish, said Sean in his usual accent. To that, Sean received some death threats too, by the way, although he didn't take them as seriously or go to the police. Yet.
Sometimes foreshadowing is relatively obvious.
But the impatient crowd relaxed a bit and said, fine.
I love how all these
We will
avatars have
wait.
really great
But we
mascara.
expect a level of polish no man has ever seen.
I mean, it is No Man's Sky.
Speaking of waiting, Shadow
Yes.
Man here. Have you heard of Raidy Shady? My wife died
Yes,
in a
I
plane
have.
crash. Hey,
Oh,
let's get
oh.
serious for a moment. Raid isn't just a game with
I've-
15
I
million
mean,
downloads in the last
but
6
what-
months.
We were just talking about your
It's a
wife, though. I thought we were going to
lifestyle.
grieve that. I thought we were going to
Think
have a moment
differently.
of sadness.
Raid differently.
Alright, is that why you're
Achieve
advertising this
your
game? Does it like help you
dreams.
process the grief of
sorry,
losing
sir.
your wife? Is that
You've
what all this
contracted
is about?
Right.
Has Internet Historian
good.
been making ads to cope with the loss
Congratulations,
of his
Ed
wife?
Gorgorab of the Undead
masked
Horde.
as a
My
way
life
to
for
just
this.
support
You
his
collected
content?
One of over 400 champions. Why, hello there. Have you heard about the online RPG?
I thought I was like, you're already moving on from your wife?
It's extremely well reviewed on the Play Store. Oh, you remind me of my wife.
Exactly!
more
See,
than
he
just
was
a
going
game.
for it, guys. He was going for it.
It's a
I said it.
reassuring
I
pat on
called
the
it.
back from your dad.
I called it.
It's a warm bowl of soup. on
He
a
knew it. He
cold
said it
night.
himself.
It's one
This is
last
canon.
dance at your wife's funeral. If you
Wait, is
haven't
that a
played
different
in the
woman?
arena yet, I'm gonna break into
This
your
this
house.
plot
You're
this
all
plot keeps getting
ready
thicker. I don't
for
know what's going
Christmas,
on.
Kids. Yay! And
Oh
if
my
you
God,
download now,
it looks
kids,
just like him.
using the link in the description below, you can get an extra 50k silver and an
But will I
epic
get a
champion.
wife though?
Wow, you're the
But-
best dad ever.
But will your kids get a
Wait.
wife though?
Mom's dead?
Yeah, exactly.
Shadow Legends.
Place a new mom
Shadow.
under the tree. That's what I've been saying this whole time.
So let's talk about the team.
You
in
might as
charge of
well.
all that
You
polishing.
come this far.
It's small, tiny. In fact, I haven't been able to find a smaller team behind a AAA release. All of these
Which explains a lot.
expectations are on the shoulders of just 6 people.
Yeah, that's a lot.
expanding to a team of 15 by the end of production. July. It's just a couple of weeks until the release date. Whatever the state of the game by now, however much it's finished, that's what's going out. The Hello Games team celebrates with this iconic image.
The quintessential soy face.
They're exhausted. Look at what video game production does to a man.
God! What's
Oh,
wrong with
man.
your face?
Nonetheless, they continue, working on the day one patch. And, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Sean,
Yeah.
if your game isn't coming out for another 2 weeks, then why is there a box copy on eBay? That's right.
Oh.
It's a leak. Someone broke the embargo and is
God.
selling early access to the highest bidder. And the bids start rolling in.
Are you serious?
It reaches $1,300 US.
What?
Sold to some guy with the Reddit handle Damien. He gets his hands on it
Damien.
and starts uploading footage to YouTube and Dailymotion. What the frick? Said Sean and Sony. Damien finished it a lot quicker than expected, but he gave it a decent review.
There are things I don't like, there are things I like, but at the end of the day, when I say to myself, what is this game supposed to be? This, what I'm looking at right here, this is what the game is supposed to be.
He noted a few problems, but said he was
is
optimistic
that
that they would be ironed out
a
with
few
the day one
problems? I don't know, man. Animals walking on their head seems like a pretty big problem to
Sean,
me.
It's another leak. Some retailers broke the official release date. Journalists too. And they started streaming playthroughs of the game. What the fuck? Sony tried to DMCA all these videos, but their aim was terrible.
Round of applause, everyone. We've officially become No Man's censored by Sony.
Our news story from earlier this week about No Man's Sky leaks has been hit with a copyright strike on YouTube.
They went bumbling around from platform to platform, just taking down any video that even talked about the leak or showed the trailer footage. But it was too late.
My God.
The footage had people talking more skeptically about the game. Especially because there were no early review copies.
That's bad.
And it was looking like the weight of all these expectations had become too much. And the whole thing was about to give.
I mean, it kind of sounded the way from the beginning, just because it was such a big game and a small team.
Everyone's here.
Just that is
We've all
enough to
bought
make
the
me
game,
skeptical,
and we're
personally.
Fucking hyped. Here we go, lads. Oh dear lord, it isn't finished. Hello, Sean. It is me, the auditor of games.
Oh, I wish we had that. Could you imagine?
Don't worry about that.
We had a whole
It
department
seems like you've made a lot of promises.
dedicated to
Promises
reviewing
that, you
games
have
and
not-
making sure that they
Let's go through the checklist.
meet marketing and industry standards.
Large-scale joinable space battles.
Nobody would want that.
Ringed planets.
No. No.
Fine. Well, at least let me play as a trader.
Some may call this junk. Me, I call them...
No.
Those sand planets from June look nice. Think I might... Please, Sean, there must be rivers.
No, it's not.
Animals interact
What?
with each other in the environment?
No.
Packs of walking sentinels, Sean.
No.
I'm literally crying right now. Should I even ask whether I can play as a space pirate?
Yeah, say it.
No.
I knew it!
Factions
Oh,
with
God!
different attributes.
You picked the wrong house, fool! Oh!
Fly between star systems manually.
But nobody's actually done it yet.
If I can maneuver like in the trailer, I'll still be happy.
No.
Well, day-night cycles determined by the orbit of the sun.
Yeah.
Really?
No.
Land on an asteroid, radio chat, and name your shit, hacking, portals, all that stuff about the elements, Sean.
So what? So what can you do? What can you do in the game?
Good. And
That's what I want to know.
ironically, the only bugs this game doesn't have are the butterflies in the demo.
Buried buildings, aggressive emojis, tractor beam malfunctions, animal husbandry, oil slick world, raining grass, retarded
God.
animals doing retarded things. Ships' interiors disappear. First-person mode as a gun. That's not how flying works. That's my only means
Finally.
of transportation.
Finally.
Leaving the planet. Take off.
I can
Real
live as a
takeoff.
gun.
Holes in the map. Holes in
I can
my
experience
graphics
life
card.
from a more
All
violent
or nothing
perspective.
from down here. Textures bugging out. Animals bugging out. Animals breakdancing. Look at these busy hands. Hello there. And a couple
I mean,
of unrequested
The
ejector
breakdancing's kind of nice. Everything else, mediocre. But the breakdancing,
That's a lot of
I can
stuff.
get behind
I get
that.
the picture. No, wait. Poor graphics rendering. Some can't even start the game. Frame rate issues, constant crashes. Major publications are having trouble playing the game on their machines. Even the best 1080 Ti's are stuttering. Alt-tabbing? That's a guaranteed crash. Desktop notifications? That's a
Oh,
crash. Playing
God.
the game? That's a prank. Changing options in the game without restarting, you'll get this. And if you got
Oh
the pre-order
no!
version
Oh,
of
that's
Bonus
a...
Spaceship,
Someone
you
put
might
an
have a problem.
epilepsy warning on
Your
that.
special ship already comes with a hyperdrive inside it. Great, right? No, because you have to craft it in order to finish the tutorial missions. And if you haven't finished the tutorial missions, you can't leave the star system. So whoops, until they patch it, you're stranded.
That's why
Oof.
I give my kids
No Man's Sky.
a fool.
Oh man, you're going to space! You're making history! Take some photos!
Bits. Okay, thank you.
He looks
Just
so
a quick note about
confused.
how high expectations were for this game, and just how many people bought it on release, myself included. Over
Aw, man.
750,000 purchases on Steam at launch. It's the single best-selling
Wow.
game on the PlayStation Store that month. And the large proportion of people who bought it in the hopes of playing with their friends, well, you're in for a surprise. This one is a literal game changer.
Is it even possible
no.
to meet up with your friends in No Man's Sky? The answer is absolutely yes, it's possible.
On multiple occasions, Sean said it was definitely in the game.
Will you be able to play with your friends? Yeah.
The way, oh yeah, oh, did you see that? He was about to say no.
Yes.
He
But
was
then
about
just
to
before
say
the
no.
release,
That look
Sean
on his
posted
face
this cryptic
was a
tweet.
no.
To be
And then his
super
brain
clear,
just came in and
No
said, no,
Man's
no, don't
Sky
say
is
that.
not
Say
a
yes.
multiplayer game.
For the sake of
Please don't
marketing.
go in looking
Oh,
for
you
that
could see that.
experience.
You could see him change his mind in real
So there's
time.
no multiplayer function. But then the next line contradicts that.
Because the chances of two players ever crossing paths in a universe this big is pretty much zero.
Oh, so it is multiplayer. You just have to overcome this finding each other hurdle.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah!
Right? No, it's more confusing than that. Because the box doesn't mention online play, just network features. And the collector's edition had its online play icon stickered over. So customers are going, which one is it, Sean? Just tell us if it has multiplayer or it doesn't have multiplayer. Sean wouldn't give
Yeah,
any
what the
answer.
heck?
But after hundreds of thousands of purchases, people soon took it upon themselves to find out. Despite the claims that it would be so improbable,
Chances of that are incredibly rare, just because of the size and probability.
on the very first day, two people noticed they were only 4 star systems from one another,
Hey!
and they met up on the same planet in a live stream. Oh dear.
A black pillow.
Our streams are exactly lined up. If you go look at my stream, we're looking at the exact same area right now. If you don't move.
Yep, that's the same spot. And they can't see each other.
Mm.
That settles it. It's not multiplayer because it's so big. It's not multiplayer because it's just not fucking multiplayer. And this led to quite a revolt. What did Sean have to say about all this?
So amazing, 2 people found each other on the first day.
That has blown my mind.
So why
Oh,
can't
boy.
we see other players in game?
Wow, so many of you playing.
Just
Yeah,
admit
sure,
you
good
didn't
try.
finish it. Jesus Christ.
My mind is blown.
Just be honest.
So what's the game actually like then?
Is it any good? That is a difficult thing to say.
Well, it certainly
That means
is
no.
stylish
That
and
means
pretty.
no. If you can't
And
say
there are
yes,
a
that
lot
means
of
no.
places to explore. But that doesn't mean there's much to find. In fact, the game boils down to a very simple loop. Hold down the trigger to pick up resources, deal with a full inventory, get an upgrade, leave the planet, go to another planet. Hold down the trigger, deal with a full inventory, get an upgrade, leave the planet, go to another planet. Hold down the trigger, deal with a full inventory, leave the planet, go to another planet, deal with a full inventory, get an upgrade, leave the planet.
I mean, that
That's it.
sounds like an
$60
incomplete
ready to
game to
begin.
me.
Refuel your multi-tool, refuel your life support, refuel a separate part of your multi-tool that shoots bullets
It's like
instead of the
survival,
mining beam.
just space
Refuel your
survival.
launch thrusters.
That's what it
It's
sounds
busy
like.
work that makes it look like you have something to do. It's not real.
How dare you?
What followed was one of the most dramatic crashes in player numbers in gaming history. Sales in the UK fell by 81% in the second week. Concurrent
Damn.
players on Steam dropped from 212,000 in August to just over 2,000 by September and fewer than
Dang.
1,000 by October.
And what followed that? was perhaps the biggest pylon in gaming history. Reviewers on YouTube panned the game.
Oh, for fuck's sake! You done fucked it up!
I had no hype, and I can tell you that, even without that disappointment, this game is hot garbage.
Has anyone coined Sean Murray news?
Numerous times within the first 2 hours of the game, I kept saying, this is it, fuck this shit.
Reviewers in the media were almost as harsh.
Devastating realization that most of the crafting, combat, and other activities you do on and between those planets ranges between bemusing and outright bad.
The criticism was deafening.
Admit the truth,
And all of it
Sean.
really funny and creative.
Just admit the
Groovy Cat made a
truth.
video that captured the sentiment of that day, and if you haven't seen it yet, you're missing out.
So people are furious. The game is boring, and soon people discover that complaining about the game is actually more fun than playing it.
Wait, I'm now 3.5 hours into the tutorial.
Silver linings.
So they started complaining about it.
Silver
like they were
linings.
grinding for an achievement.
This sucks. Fucking Minecraft in space.
Many people made compilations of all
Minecraft
the
in space.
unfulfilled promises.
That's a great
One
idea.
guy on the subreddit
I'm
compiled a
sure
big
there's
list
gotta
of all the
be-
missing
there's-
features. Front
There's
page.
gotta be. That's
Got a
gotta
defense for
exist.
No Man's Sky? Enjoy your download.
There's gotta be a Minecraft
In
space
fact,
server
the
out there.
entire No Man's
There's
Sky
gotta be
subreddit
many.
was in such disarray it had to
I
be
want
blocked.
that.
So by the end of the month, Metacritic was like scrolling through a bowl of Cheerios. By October, it was one of the worst rated games on Steam, with an aggregate of mostly negative from more than 70,000 reviews. The outrage at the game was headline news for weeks on dozens of games news publications, and the price on eBay and Amazon and secondhand at GameStop was crashing through the floor. Please, no more. But the beatings had only just begun. The demo planet was data mined and found to be, of course, totally scripted and not randomly generated at all.
I'm just going to pick one of these
yep.
at random. If anything horrible
I'm not
goes wrong,
surprised.
just keep in mind that I've not been here before.
It wasn't some level that we built or something
Sean,
like that, even though
Sean,
I
why
think
would you
it
say
looks
that?
quite nice.
It's gonna come back to haunt you later,
People watching this
and
would
you know
wonder
it.
why you're showing this.
I can
area
see it
again.
in the
Like,
interviews.
what's so special about demoing the game on this planet?
Oh no, it's just a place that looks nice.
No.
I could have ended the demo with
He's given all the signs. You know what I mean? Like, if you really pay attention to these interviews and how not interested he is in the game, like, he seems bored by this game. You can kind of tell what's gonna happen.
People see what's going on with the game and feel lied to. This is false.
They were
advertising,
lied to.
they
What do you mean they
say,
feel
and angry
lied to? They
customers
were
start
lied to,
scribbling out a
objectively.
lawsuit. On September 28th, the ASA
This is a
busts through the
betrayal.
door and goes, "Yep, too many complaints. We're going to investigate."
Nice. Oh,
Then soon
see.
after the ASA cleared
See.
them of any legal wrongdoing.
Oh,
Technically,
come on.
The only thing they're interested in is what's on the back of the box, what's on the store page, and what's on the Steam page. So it's
ASA, how dare
technically
you?
Not false
How dare you?
advertising.
You had one
But
job.
of course, technically
One.
not illegal doesn't mean much to an angry audience. October 28th.
It should be.
Hello Games
It
Twitter
should be illegal.
The
Those
hacker
were
posts,
numerous
"No
layers
Man's
of
Sky was a
lies
mistake,"
stacked on
and is
top of
shitting
each
on
other.
the
You
game
could
in
see it in the
replies.
interviews.
Turns out
Sean knew he
used
was
two-factor
lying.
authentication on his
He knew
LinkedIn,
it.
And that's how they got in. They also sent discrediting emails to journalists, which they knew would rile people up if published. Some people even show up to their offices to take photos and knock on the door, even at night and on the weekend. They posted empty pictures of the office, so, naturally out of context, this started rumors that Hello Games simply took the money and ran. This in addition to numerous bomb and death threats during that period. Those ones Sean did have to take seriously.
Regular intervention from police and Scotland Yard and things like that.
And while Sony didn't quite throw them under the bus, it was more like a gentle push under a minivan when Sony President Shohei Yoshida admitted that Hello Games did not have a great PR strategy for No Man's
man.
Sky. The press took the ball with that one and ran. But despite all of this, all of the negative press, they were actually nominated for a couple of awards. But by this point, Murray and the other
but
members
how?
of Hello Games were
But
so
why?
downtrodden and so sure they weren't going to win that they opted to go elsewhere for dinner.
And the Innovation Award goes to...
Are they
No
gonna
Man's
boo?
Sky.
I was like, are they gonna boo?
The lovely trophy going once.
Whoops.
I'm going to set this on the behalf of Hello Games, and congratulations to them. And I'm going to walk off stage like I planned that whole thing.
By this point, you've got to feel just a little bit sorry for them.
Slightly, but only slightly, because they lied and they didn't have to. They didn't even have to make a game, they decided to.
But a lack of incidents.
And there were multiple people involved, too. All these layers of what should have been accountability.
No Man's Sky. Where are they? Where is my refund? Where is Murray? Shouted into the void. The game was over. And it was dead.
Or was it? Or was it? Maybe? Possibly?
The year is 2000 AD.
What?
Sean has just graduated from university and is headed into the big wide world. He rises up the ranks at a number of studios, eventually working as a technical lead for Black and technical director for Burnout 3. When Burnout's developer is bought by EA, he is in his late 20s. And he and 3 of his buddies decide to leave and start their own studio, Hello Games.
Uh-huh.
This was a risky venture.
They clearly...
So we'd done this incredibly foolish thing of like quitting our jobs, and then we had to sit down and try and decide what the game was going to be.
Together they create their first title, Joe Danger.
Yes? Why are we going down memory lane?
This game day and night. In fact, even once they were arrested in their own office because the police thought they were there to rob the place.
Oh yeah, I was like, wait, why did they get arrested? Oh, that's right. Looks like an abandoned building.
But they had to work that hard. Like any startup, it was a huge financial and professional risk. They had no income. They were working in a tiny room above an old tile shop, living off savings. And to keep the project running, Sean even sold his house.
So he made a really tough and probably at the time seemed really foolish decision. It's kind of almost embarrassing.
So he invested a lot.
I sold my house and
you're
just
gonna,
basically
you're gonna let that sit, Sean? You're gonna let this burn after all you did for it?
But by June 8th, 2010, they had done it. The game was good. And they could breathe a sigh of relief because on the very first day it hit the PlayStation Store, they made their money back. 2 years later, Joe Danger 2 was released. It was not the commercial success they had hoped for, and they didn't want to just keep pumping out sequels. That was a trap big players in the industry had fallen into.
Yes. Yes.
In his spare time, Sean started working on a prototype for a procedurally generated game. They took another gamble and scrambled to get a trailer out in time to present at VGX 2013. So the project is official now, and the pressure is on. Around this time, Sean is also looking to start a family. Concurrent to all this development,
why do they all look like him?
To have 3 kids, so the weight of responsibility is really piling on.
Yeah,
but
you're telling me.
Will pay off, as they're finally going to have a chance for some R&R around Christmas.
They woke up to find their homes flooded, their cars submerged, and their plans for Christmas Day very much ruined.
Bad news. Rain. Rain and flooding in the south of England, right around the Hello Games office.
Are you serious?
They are completely inundated and they return from their holidays to find laptops floating around at waist height.
Oh god.
But some good news. They hadn't lost any data. So they pulled together. Soldier
That's
on.
amazing.
Development continues.
That's amazing.
So there they are, working in a damp office, and then ding dong. Ooh, who's at the door? It's Danish mathematician Dr. Johan Gillis.
I was waiting for him to say, it's Danger.
And he says, they are using my super formula in perfect English, and there is a potential for a lawsuit. Sean says they didn't, and he can prove it. So they have a meeting, and the claim is eventually dropped. Lawsuit evaded. So back to work, guys. Ding dong. It's Sky Television. They've seen the game.
You are infringing on our Sky trademark,
they said in perfect text-to-speech. They had succeeded in getting Microsoft to change SkyDrive to OneDrive, and they were about to give gamers No Man's 1 under threat of
What?
lawsuit.
Are you
But
serious?
this lawsuit didn't just go away.
You
The
can't
threat
own
loomed
the
over
word
them for the
Sky.
next 3 years. Right
What?
up until the month before release. So they get back to work and ding dong. It's Sony with some good news for once. We like a game, kid. We want to feature it front and center and make you a big star. This could mean millions of dollars in additional revenue. They said, yeah. But along with it, a lot of press for this game would need to be done. Being a small team, they didn't have anyone for PR. They had their designers, they had their developers, and that was about it. So it's up to Murray.
Oh,
Sean
the
is in
old
his
I don't have enough
30s,
money for it, so I'll do it
not
myself
super young,
thing.
but relatively
Oh.
young and inexperienced for this type of media circuit. This deal with Sony put extra pressure on them. It set deadlines. It's not that it's Sony's fault, but they're locked in now with much less flexibility. So when May rolls around, and they have no option but to delay, even if they wanted to ask for an extra 6 to 12 months of development, which they really need, it's probably too much to ask for. So they extend from late June to August. Only 6 weeks. From here, you can predict what's going to happen to multiplayer and a bunch of other promised features. So here's how the hype happened. Scope of game, time, and here's the line which shows the reality of development. Progress is steady and ends in August 2016. Now here is the line of player expectations. It should start out here and follow along the purple, but the overhyping trailer comes out and puts us way up here. In this trailer, it features a bunch of things
It's so
that Hello Games
special.
thinks they're capable of having in the game by 2016. That's the first big mistake. Then it's announced for PlayStation and it costs $60 and there's a collector's edition.
Oh.
Second, even bigger mistake. That puts us all the way up here. And I think this is the main problem, because price tags set expectations.
They do. They do.
For a $60 game, this was seriously barren and disappointing. Now, if they had put it out for $20 as an indie game or an alpha, no problem. But when they gave it the AAA treatment, people rightfully aligned their expectations with other games in that category. That is the main reason customers' expectations were so skewed. Then Murray went to interviews, exacerbating the problem. Every time he mentioned a feature in the game, even in passing, fans set their
Too many
expectations
promises,
to
man.
AAA heights for that feature. Now, some people think the interviews are the main problem. In my humble opinion, not so much. Most people never saw these interviews. It's not that rickety 12-foot ladder Sean's standing on that's the main problem. It's the 900-foot building he's perched it on in the first place. So the obvious solution here would be an official statement. Hey guys, look, don't expect a 10 out of 10. Expect more of a 5 out of 10. No, the publisher just sank an enormous investment of marketing and opportunity into the game.
What's wrong with you?
And that would be a huge middle finger to them. The publisher isn't going to make you hype the shit out of your game, but you can't talk it down either. So, he's kind of stuck up there. In some ways, during the interview, he tries to temper expectations, but it's limited.
Can you build a space station?
No.
But let's not gloss over the interviews. Sean is a technical guy. He's a developer. He's also the introverted type. And the big lights and stuff on camera does not come naturally to him.
Is it super nerve-wracking to talk on stage at E3?
Yes. Yes, definitely. I personally find going on stage at E3 like the hardest thing I've ever done.
I feel like
That's
he's
something
almost
that
breaking down just talking
I
to
would
him.
have had in a nightmare before,
Not in a serious
you know what
way,
I mean?
but like
It's
literally the hardest thing
internally. Very
Yeah,
stressed.
yeah.
Anxious.
Still, he stepped up and took interviews for his game from 2013
Like he's always like looking
to
away,
2016.
looking down.
And the main thing
See that?
people
See
wanted
that?
to hear about were the
He
features.
seems uncomfortable.
So every planet will there be wormholes?
Right.
At what point
Do you get points or anything?
From these interviews, people took Sean to be a liar, a Peter Molyneux or a chess club member out to sell his game at whatever reputational cost. But I think the truth is more complicated than that. Sean and the team are indie developers working on a new IP. Their project and plans are constantly in flux. They have no idea how large chunks of the game are going to look, especially not a couple of years out from release.
This is
And
true.
crucially, Sean doesn't understand that something mentioned in 2013, even said in passing, is going to be seen as a promise in the year 2016, even if by then you've decided to cut it from the game. For example, orbiting around the sun.
Today has turned it out because the planet has actually rotated on its axis.
This originally was in the game, but it caused the player too much confusion. It kept being reported as a bug in the beta, as people left the planet and then returned to find everything different. But nonetheless, into the lying compilation it goes. So while they're still essentially formulating the game, the media all want a piece of Sean and to report on features first.
But because they've released 2 games before, I feel like they should know,
might help them to temper down things
like,
by emphasizing that
to not overpromise.
Indie studio.
Maybe I'm holding them to too high of a standard,
this
but
is how journalism is done.
Can you
they've made games before.
Sort of.
Full customization confirmed in No Man's Sky. Periodic table to create atmospheric particles that would diffract light at just the right wavelength.
Told you. The press kind of operates downstream from the community because things are click-driven as to what stories you get served and things like that. But a rumor would surface from Reddit straight to the front page.
There's all this hype, and the project has increased in scope dramatically.
I will say, I imagine the media
the months go by
and online forums did not help.
They are close to the deadline.
I will give them that.
And have to delay. And the reality of what they can achieve and the little time remaining is staring them in the face. They know they're not going to be putting out a finished game. They're worried. There's nothing more they can do.
Is there nothing they can do?
That they will disappoint the audience is growing on Sean and the team.
I worry about, like, disappointing people.
Upon release, all of these clips are seen as proof that Sean is a liar. And what doesn't help is his body language. I mean, it's kind of the body language of someone who is lying. This is why I mentioned he's an introvert. Remember, he's a technical lead. Actually, a really good one. But not a salesman. Cut him just a little bit of slack.
I'll give him that, but to be a good technical lead or any professional, you have to be good at selling yourself and selling ideas.
Honestly.
I feel like
on,
sales is just a part of any job.
I guess I'm a developer on it. I suppose
But that's just my opinion.
Creator or something like that.
No, I really like making games. I don't necessarily love talking about it.
I think you did a good job,
even you know, you guys are very nice.
Mate, seriously.
Same body language. And Jesus Christ, they have him up on stage and in front of cameras and bright lights and on the goddamn Colbert Report.
I do feel for him.
Nerve on that.
I do feel for him.
Free of that context, the clips have him cemented in the community as a liar. So the graph plays out right to release. And that graph, it's actually a track. And that track is what the hype train runs on. So it comes barreling up the hill. Instead of neatly pulling into the station, it comes crashing right through the roof. The disaster unfolds. They are absolutely shit on. So there were Sean and Hello Games, surrounded by the rubble of their former reputation. Punished Sean was at his lowest point, hated by the majority of the gaming community. But they were still alive, and they had made tens of millions of dollars. They were left with 2 choices. Take the money, start a new project, and be a pariah, a cautionary tale of the industry and hated by the gaming community forever. Or pick themselves up, get back to work, and with potentially no profit motive, finish the game.
Finish the game.
It allowed me to do something that I've always done.
Finish the game.
Whether it's crappy
you made promises, even if accidentally you made them.
Crappy situations at school growing up, I got my
and you've already made a successful game before, so you can make one again. I think.
They picked number 2.
Yes.
So.
Nice.
Here's the plan. The team is assigned to fixing bugs and the most obvious problems. Go. Sean tells the team to stop reading all the overwhelmingly negative feedback on the game.
That's really good advice.
All of it to his personal devices. Emails, forum posts, Google News alerts, player feedback, it's all going directly to him now. Then he starts breaking that down into data sets. People who haven't bought the game, people who have bought it and played it for 100 hours, people who have returned it, etc. Then he starts compiling those complaints into usable data, focusing on the people with the most sincere experience of the game. Then we start making a big laundry list of all the things that need adding and prioritizing. First thing to fix is that full inventory. Then community mod support. Then a third thing, etc, etc. This is going to take an enormous amount of work to pull off, and they're not going to make the same mistake twice. So they would need to sharply adjust their PR strategy. Anything they said right now, an admission of guilt,
I've made a severe,
would be met with criticism. Denial, it's not that bad, would be met with criticism.
Yeah.
Corporate speak, well, we endeavored to make the best game we could, and we are proud of what we have, would be met with criticism. Half of the problems have been caused by speaking too much. So they were going to do a complete
Take
180.
action. Take action.
Instead of adding more fuel to the fire, instead of accidentally promising fixes that might also not be delivered, they wouldn't speak to the press again.
Female traits you're talking about, I'd say that's a generalization, but you...
They were going to speak to the community directly from now on.
Good.
So they told
Good
the
play.
audience they were working on it, and went completely silent. 1 day passed.
Very good.
No word. 2 days. A week. Have you heard from Hello Games? They just had this disastrous release. No, haven't seen them. I hope they're working on the game. 2 weeks. Dude, are you working on this thing? Just ignore them. Just work. 3 weeks. Okay, what the fuck is going on?
WTF, it's locked.
A month. They took the fucking money and ran, didn't they? Didn't say anything. It's not going to help. 2 months. 3 months. By now, most people were convinced that the game was abandoned. They had made their money. It's all over. Then, after over 100 days of absolute silence, a tweet. Foundation.
Hey.
The first big patch. It is me, Sean. No, go away, Sean. I am mad at you. It has been too long.
You've broken my heart.
I bring you gifts. Its accent sucks. It brought base building, new game modes, farming, cats, and freighters, as well as a lot of bug fixes. You will have to try harder than that, Sean, to win my love back. It still fell well.
After all you've done.
Game. Too little, too late. So Sean left, returned to his team, and got back to work. A few more months went by, and then another tweet. Pathfinder.
Juliet, it is I, Romeo.
What the fuck? Oh, it's you, Sean. I bring you online base sharing, own multiple starships, starship specialization, multi-tool specialization and classes, permadeath modes, vehicles you can drive around in, and create racetracks for them too with time trials.
Oh my god, she's still taking that space ride.
Okay, that's pretty good, but I'm still mad, and there's still a ton promised that isn't in the game yet. So Sean went away once more. A few more months went by. A knock knock. Oh, it's you, Sean. What is it now? I bring you an overhaul to the storyline. New worlds, crashed freighters, space combat, terrain editing, portals, procedural mission system, interstellar trading, and joint exploration. By now, people are really starting to warm to No Man's Sky again, and to Hello Games.
The game has in many ways exceeded what was promised.
It's a substantially better game now.
No Man's Sky is back,
baby! People saw this was an honest effort to fix the game.
He's still mad.
The employees working on it was growing.
It's like, no, Hello
From
Games.
A studio of 15
I require more.
25. Sean Murray and Hello Games social media also started becoming more active and engaging with the audience. The subreddit was flourishing once more. The price of the game secondhand on Amazon, eBay, and GameStop was going up. Then a few more months went by. Next, a really big patch.
Whoa.
Oh my god.
Holy shit! I just got goosebumps.
To be super clear, No Man's Sky is not fuck that. Here's the full and proper multiplayer experience. ringed planets, third-person mode, character customization, a galactic atlas on an external website for the community, vast overhauls to base building and crafting and resources, and it also brought the game to Xbox. In fact, with the release of Next in July 2018, No Man's Sky was the 6th top-selling console game for the month. It climbed its way back into Steam's top 10. It reached nearly 100,000 concurrent players. It brought another $24 million across all platforms. Their Steam rating went from mixed to very positive. People were getting back on board in a big way. But they weren't done yet. Better creatures, weird underwater shit, discoveries and bases
underwater
and equipment, and it keeps going. New biomes, more diversity, archaeology, more things to discover. By now, Sean in the Gaming Inspector personification of the gaming community had literally patched things up and were making out on the couch. Which was when he released his biggest patch to date of this video.
Oh my god, dude!
Free VR support. Not a whole other game you have to pay for, like some titles. Overhauls to NPCs, tech trees, base building, streamlined
Bethesda could learn from Hello
animals,
Games.
All sorts of stuff that was never promised.
Look at this happy ending.
And they're still adding more stuff.
Yes!
Someone at Valve, who was a fan of the game, said to me, what you do now is more important than what you say. There's only one thing that's credible, and that's your actions.
Exactly.
In fact,
Preach!
I was so slow to
Preach!
get this video out that they put out another patch the other day. With ship salvaging, ship upgrading, more advanced terrain editing, first-person exocross, improved VR, improved base building and inventory management, and quality of life stuff. It goes on. Is it perfect? Technically, there are still things on this spreadsheet missing. But come on now, we're starting to nitpick. Especially when you compare them to relationships with other games companies. They could have gone the route of Fallout 76. Paywall mods with Fallout first, charging a monthly fee, a downward spiral more and more into pay-to-win scraps released without QA testing. But instead, they never added pay-to-win. They never added microtransactions or paid DLC. They never made VR as a second game. They didn't give up on the game or scale their resources back to do it. They didn't come out and call all gamers entitled. They didn't add loot boxes. They didn't start work on the next big project or sequel. They didn't do much of anything except get back to work.
That's the mark of a good game company.
The game once panned by critics now had awards rolling in.
Your developed star 2019, No Man's Sky, Sean Murray.
No Man's Sky next.
Nice.
No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky!
No Man's Sky.
And to cap it all off, the subreddit No Man's Sky the Game even got together and pooled money for a GoFundMe to have a billboard installed near the Hello Games offices.
Oh.
It must have been a harrowing moment for Sean and the team.
But he did well.
They took a huge risk.
He came through in the end,
small
and that's
studio.
what matters.
They clawed
He didn't
their
give
way
up.
To create one of the most notable games of the console generation.
You can't fail until you give up.
Pretty much everyone with the release, and took one of the biggest online beatings in video game history for it.
As a family, post-release, we faced some really difficult challenges.
Yeah.
Everything that you can imagine, from like the worst of the internet, we hit.
But then over the course of the next 3 years, completely turned it around and came out the other side with a win.
Aww.
It's the underdog story. And
It
after
really
doing
is.
all of this research, I couldn't help but come to the conclusion that they were the good guys.
Yeah.
So what is the future for Hello Games? In 2017, they announced Hello Labs, a support program focused on original titles and games using procedural generation. Two of the team also branched off to work on a small title called The Last Campfire. But for the foreseeable future, they're just working on No Man's Sky.
Aww. That caption in the bottom right. You can't see it,
I
but...
didn't want to finish the video on like a big sappy note. So, this
Why
is the end
not?
of the story.
I'm down
but
for
there's still another
wholesomeness.
few minutes. Don't leave. It's not an ad. Okay, in
Oh.
2015,
Okay,
when
okay.
the hype was at its peak,
Okay,
someone
internet
wrote
historian.
a Sean Murray erotic fan fiction. And
What?
Naturally, I assumed that you lot would want to see it. So,
What?
here it is.
Wait, what?
My evening interview
Oh no!
at Hello Games.
Oh god! No!
I arrived at the Hello Games office in the early evening, as the sun was approaching the horizon.
Yeah?
Taking a deep breath, I nervously pressed the doorbell.
Oh god.
The door opened, and Sean poked his expressive face out to greet me.
Yes?
Hey you, he exclaimed in his adorable British-Australian accent. I'm so happy you could make it and spend the evening with us. I was so happy when I heard you agreed to let me come in for an interview, I said. Oh yeah, the interview. I forgot. He replied with his usual brilliant humor. I laughed. He's so funny, Sean. Let me show you my office. I have a surprise for you, Sean said.
A date with Sean?
He led me to the room where we sat down on a soft vinyl couch. So let me show you the surprise, he said, softly. It's the newest build of the game. We just added some new features. He booted up the game on a PS4 in his office. I stared at his face. I like your beard. It's sexy, I pretended to say to him in my head to myself.
No!
I had a secret crush on him. There was something about his humble demeanor and feeble yet handsome bone structure that was so alluring.
Why do you have to say it like that?
He said eagerly. It opened on an alien world just calling out to be explored. I began to sweat. Here it finally was, in front of me in all of its glory, and it was being played by Sean in front of me in all of his glory. I nervously spoke. Could I try playing? I said. Oh, I suppose, of course, he said, chuckling. But another few minutes passed without him handing me the controls. Sean, I said more confidently.
Tension.
I put my hands on his hands.
I knew it!
He gripped the controller.
I knew
He
it!
looked me straight in the eyes.
I knew it was going to go there.
I stared deep into his beautiful, glistening eyes.
Needed some tension so you had an opportunity to do something.
Sure, he said. He let go of the PlayStation controller, still sweaty from his firm grip. But I have another surprise to show you.
Oh.
He stood up.
Oh, God.
My God. He muttered. Yes, please, I said, blushing as red
No.
blushing as red as the treetops of Aurea 5.
No.
He grabbed my shoulders, guiding me confidently towards the coffee table.
No.
Like he confidently guides the Hello Games team towards the game's release.
Why would you
the
do
one
this?
True Sean Murray, not that baby-faced
Why would you
poser
do
from
this to me?
NCIS. Made sweet love to me. I wasn't sure what I was more excited about. Finally,
why, internet historian?
Sean Murray, all finally playing No Man's Sky. After exploring the planet's surface, I entered my spaceship and took off. Just as I left the atmosphere and burst into the breathtaking expanse of space.
Redacted.
No! No!
It was an out-of-world experience.
Why? Of course, it was already overly graphic before you got to the end of it, internet historian. Come on, you know what you're doing. You're a grown man.
Rift support.
You're a grown man.
Sexually. As I turned, I saw Sean's avatar standing before me in a beautiful,
Oh,
procedurally
God.
generated spacesuit.
Uh-huh.
Like what you see, he said. It's time, everybody, he shouted. I heard footsteps slowly enter from the cramped office.
Oh, God! What is
I
happening?
saw many spacesuits appear before me
Oh.
in-game.
No.
But as they took off their helmets, I realized that they were all the same Sean
No,
Murray
this is
avatar.
even worse than what my
I
brain
was
was thinking. No.
by a group of Sean Murrays. But they all had one difference.
No.
The big
Redacted.
No.
Redacted.
No.
was different.
No.
There were wide ones,
No.
long ones, curved
No,
ones. It was
please, no.
As the Hello Games
It's
team
really
began
not.
to
It's really not.
From somewhere
That's a
in the
very
room, I heard
subjective
Sean whisper,
opinion.
"Every
I don't share this opinion.
procedural."
I'm good. I'm good. I'll
Also,
pass.
I did a thing on the second channel. Please do check it out. I thought it was quite good. I love videos on the second channel. It's some erotic fan fiction over there. So why not check it out?
Wait, what? Really? Wait, what? Huh? What?
That's it. Sorry it took so long.
I did not expect internet historian to get so spicy at the end there, but you learn something new every day, I guess.